Got a lot of Disney stuff to talk about. They released this information today about the Thunderbolts coming out a lot sooner and some Fantastic Four casting news. This is what they put out today. So happy Valentine's Day from the Fantastic Four. Pretty much confirming the cast that we've all been talking about. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss, Joseph Quinn. Those are your Fantastic Four. I still think Pedro Pascal is too old for this part, which is why I think they're going to have him turn into the Maker, and they'll move another character into the Fantastic Four eventually. That's just a theory that I have, though. It's not anything concrete, but to me it makes sense. Let's get that patriarch out of the family, shift it to Invisible Woman, which is what they're already going to do, I guess. So it makes sense to me when you look at the overall MCU. But we're not here to really talk about this. What I want to talk about is the reason why they released this information today. And that's because Nelson Peltz responded to what he calls spaghetti against the wall that Disney pulled with their earnings stuff. So in case you've missed this, a lot of people have covered this, so I'm just going to go through it a little bit. VoteDisney.com. This is a real website that's going out to shareholders, I guess, and it gives a big message as to why you should vote Disney. What? Why should you vote Disney? Well, that's because shareholders have a little bit of influence on who sits on their board, and they want you to vote this way. So this is a card that shareholders are going to get to vote on. And what they want you to do is vote on their company nominees. This is how they want you to vote. This is from Disney. It's in this video right here at the top of the website, a message from Bob Iger, where he pretty much blows himself and talks about how great things are going and how things are getting back on track and how the company's doing better now because, they had to raise prices and fire a shitload of people. So he thinks this is going to be good enough and everyone is going to vote the way he wants them to vote. So he goes through on how everything's getting better and Disney's on a strong path with all of their DEI bullshit and the ESG initiatives and all their agendas. They're definitely going to bring the company back to greatness. I don't think so. There's a lot of Bob Iger leaks, by the way. Some videos that came out the other day that leaked where he was talking about, like Bob was patting himself on the back for Black Panther and talking about how the company needs to get political. This was around January 6th, from what I understand. But maybe we'll get to that or not. What I want to go over is Nelson Peltz's response to all this stuff, which I think either was said last night or this morning. Nelson Peltz rips Disney's spree of earnings time news as spaghetti against the wall guarantees victory in proxy fight. I think there's a good chance that shareholders might vote for him. They're going out of their way to call them activists, by the way. Activist investors and activists are completely different things. I've talked about that before. The Blackwell's nominees are new, but the ones that I'm hoping win are the Trian group nominees. Nelson and James are the two that I hope get in. You could see some really significant stuff happen if they get on the board. Help, throw the Blackwells in there too. Throw them in there too. All these people right here that are company nominees, vote as many of them out as you can if you're a shareholder. These guys, like Bob Iger, for example, I've heard that he has divested himself somewhat from Disney, along with a lot of the other people on the nominees that are up for nominee that they want on the board. The last thing I would want are people running this shit that don't have any stake in it. It's better for them to have a horse in the race than not one. So Nelson Peltz has a lot of stock. He's got control of other people's stock. recently hanging out with Elon Musk. I think he could actually be a pain in the ass for Iger, and that's exactly what he needs, not a board of yes men. But let's go over this a little bit because there's some interesting stuff in here. And I want to go over what he had to say because he has some bold statements. Trian is seeking to have Peltz and former Disney CFO Jay Razalou elected to the company's board of directors. Disney formally rebuffed their request to be put forward as officially sanctioned nominees, so the matter will be put to a vote at its April 3rd shareholder meeting. 2 other investment firms have also been rattling cages ahead of the meeting, but Trian, which has waged successful proxy battles against Procter & Gamble and other companies, has been the most vocal. Former Marvel chief Ike Perlmutter has endorsed the Trian effort and enabled it to leverage his shares in the fight. In an interview on CNBC timed to the release of the letter, Peltz was asked if he would sell his shares and retreat if he ends up losing the proxy fight. "Oh, come on. We're not going to lose, okay? Let's get that straight," he responded. The company, or the people who own this stock, they want action. They don't want promises, okay? That's not what they want. We're going to win. We never plan and state what we're going to do if we lose because we don't lose. So I think that's the right statement. And I think it's funny. Like they put this Fantastic Four casting out today to try to take the heat off of themselves and bury this Peltz stuff. So what do? Well, they put out Fantastic Four news. Oh, yay. Fantastic Four news is coming. Sorry. I don't think that's going to help you very much. Not a lot of people excited for Marvel shit right now. Not sure if they're aware of that or not. Not a lot of confidence in that brand. And I'm telling you, if Deadpool 3 does not make money, and I think it will make money, so don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that movie is going to fail. But let's say that it does. That would be disastrous for Marvel, because that is the only Marvel movie they're putting out this year, number one. And by all intents and purposes, it looks like a good movie. So if that fails, let's say that movie's bad, or even if it's good, it doesn't do well and it loses money. That is a disaster for Disney. So, they have a lot riding on that movie. I think more than people realize, because they need that movie to do well so it gets people excited and anxious for new stuff. So that when Captain America 4 drops, they rush out to see it because they're anxious and ready to eat up new Marvel shit. If Deadpool 3 fails, well, that's bad for them. But I think if, Nelson and that Luke guy get in and some of these other people, I think that there's actually a chance that maybe they could get Disney starting to make real good business decisions again and not totally dependent on DEI and ESG. The question I do have is, will people come back if they do? How much goodwill has Disney lost? They've already lost the family. I guess the real question is, can they get the family back? I don't know. I'm not so sure anymore. Universal, they're starting to overtake Disney. They've already beat them at the box office last year, and they've got big announcements with their parks. I think you could start to see their parks overtake Disney in time. There's more culturally relevant stuff at Universal. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here.
If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.